In the last couple of years, more than 50 Christian colleges have applied for a religious exemption from Title IX. And that is a federal law that bans publicly funded schools from discriminating on the basis of sex. In 2014, the Obama administration decided that Title IX protection should be extended to transgender students. And join us now with more perspective on this is Dr. Everett Piper, president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Dr. Piper, thanks for joining us today.
It's my pleasure, Heather. Glad to join you.
Oklahoma Wesleyan has requested and been granted a religious exemption from Title IX. What was the reason for your request?
Well, Oklahoma Wesleyan is a Christian institution, and we subscribe boldly and unapologetically to a biblical worldview. And frankly, we believe that sex is a scientific fact, that women are a biological reality, and we think it's an insult to the woman to suggest that she's nothing but a postmodern fabrication and that she's not a scientific, biological, anatomical fact. So therefore, we appealed the new interpretation of Title IX, which was a good law established in 1972 to give women equal access to the athletic field and to other programs. And essentially, we're saying this: how can we give women equal access to anything if we buy into this postmodern fallacy of suggesting that a woman is a fabrication rather than a scientific reality and an objective fact?
So what kind of situations were you concerned that you might be subjected to under this Obama administration's new interpretation?
Well, the implication is that you could lose your Title IX recognition as an academic institution. And if you do lose that Title IX recognition, all the students' Pell Grants that they can use to go to any any school that's accredited and recognized by Title IX, those Pell Grants and there's those guaranteed student loans would disappear because the students wouldn't be able to use those to go to an institution that's not recognized. So millions of dollars of loss would be in play here if indeed you were de-recognized by Title IX.
Right. And the new interpretation of Title IX, which includes transgender students, what were you concerned about with respect to that?
Well, again, it's an insult to the woman to suggest that she's not a fact and that she is a fiction or a fact. Basically, what I'm saying at Oklahoma Wesleyan University, within the context of a biblical worldview, we are pro-woman and we're proud of it. We refuse to dumb down the definition of a woman to anything but her objective identity. We believe a man and a woman are made in the imago Dei, the image of God, and that image is dictated by God and not reconstructed through some sort of fancy or fabrication or wish fulfillment of human beings. A human being is an objective reality, and we're not going to start an educational process that celebrates anything less than that. We're going to elevate the human being, we're going to elevate the definition and the dignity of a woman, and we're going to protect the privacy therein and honor that.
So you were concerned that you would have a transgender student who would want access to the opposite sex bathroom or locker room, and that you would not want to accommodate them?
Well, we would not celebrate anybody changing the definition of what a man is or what a woman is. And we would expect our students to behave accordingly. This is not an issue of identity. This is an issue of behavior. The argument that you're nothing but the sum total of your inclinations, your proclivities, your appetites, your wishes is an inferior definition of the human being. We believe the human make choices and that we have free will to do so, and that you're obligated to exercise the behaviors that are consistent with your student code and your student contract here at Oklahoma Wesleyan University.
There's been a number of Christian colleges that have applied for this religious exemption in the last couple of years. Do you expect that to continue? What are you hearing from your peers?
Well, I know a number have applied, and I think it's for similar reasons, that they believe that it's pretty much self-evident that one of the most scientific facts that ever is pronounced upon you at birth is you're a boy or you're a girl. It's a boy, it's a girl. And who pronounces that? A scientist, a medical doctor. And these things don't seem to be all that complicated, and that we should recognize the dignity of the human being and the definition of a man and the definition of a woman. I would hope that other Christian institutions would stand on that higher definition, that elevated definition, that complement of the human being, rather than accepting these dumbed down definitions of inclinations being the sum total of your identity.
Dr. Piper, there has been concern that LGBT activists want to target the Christian colleges asking for these exemptions. Are you concerned about that?
No, I'm not concerned. In fact, I am proud of seeking the exemption because I'm proud of being pro-woman. I wrote an op-ed right after this attempt to, quote unquote, out the institutions that sought these exemptions and somehow embarrass us into either changing our direction or complying with the DOE's mandate, transgender mandate. And we won't do that. Again, I've already told you why. We believe that a woman should be honored. We believe that a man and a woman are objective realities, and we're not going to insult either of them by suggesting that they're nothing but a fabrication.
All right, Dr. Piper with Oklahoma Wesleyan University, thanks so much for your time.
Blessings.